it's Fabienne. I'm so glad you're here today. We are going to talk about how to move past procrastination and into decisive action. I put together a presentation for you that I have never taught anywhere else in this way. And here's why. I am noticing, and please say hello if you're here in the chat. Please, if not, you're here in the chat. If you're here, say hello in the chat and tell me where you're from and why this topic is interesting to you. This whole idea of moving past procrastination and into decisive action. The reason I wanted to do this today is because I actually spoke to a woman just this past week who said to me, Fabienne, I know what I need to do. I am not doing it. In other parts of my life, I take decisive action, but in my business, I seem to be frozen. I seem to procrastinate. I seem to push things off. Thank you, Claire. Good morning, Dawn. Thank you so much. And she said to me that with tears in her eyes, I don't know how I will be more successful in business if I don't get past the procrastination. I just can't seem to get off the dime. And I started thinking, well, okay, so I can help, and I gave her a series of things, but a lot of people chimed in and said, yeah, this thing about procrastination is getting in the way. It's getting in the way of me doing the things I should be doing. Everybody seems to know what they should be doing. There's a plethora of information out there on the internet of what you should be doing to get results, to get clients, to make money, to market yourself, to scale your business if you're already at a bigger level. This procrastination thing happens on many, many levels. It happens at the struggling stage when you're just starting out, what we call the red zone, and it moves up to every level. There is, at every new level, there is a new devil of procrastination. And I want to talk to you today about this and show you where it comes from and show you how to get around it. Just lots of new content for you today. I want to say hello to who is here. So who do we have here? We have Stacy Harvey Brown. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. Yeah, I'm always here to give you new strategies. I'm never shy about giving really good content away. Good morning, Janet from Phoenix. Fear holds you back. I get it. It is insidious. I just held, was it 2 weeks ago? I held a mindset retreat from this seat, and so many women. When we did some fear exercises, meaning like, what are your fears? And it is the thing, a big thing that gets them into procrastination. So you are in the right place. Tom Neverman, mwah, hello, my love. So great to see you here. So great to see you here. Have missed you. Let's see, Revital, hello. Great to have you. And you've spent 3 years putting off taking off in a business. Claire, I get it. I think today is going to be really helpful for you. Julie from Corby, hello. And Cherise from Illinois, great to have you here. Michelle Tressimer, hello. We're going to do great work today. So happy that you're here. If you've just joined us, in the comments, in the chat feature, I want you to tell me how procrastination is affecting your business. Okay. And just know that at the end of our time, I've got great content for you today. And at the end of our time, I will give you some time to ask me questions. So write down your questions. Hello, Delphine. Just saw you just a few minutes ago. And Katrina and Anne and Jess. We're going to talk about procrastination today and my hacks for moving past it. Listen, I deal with it just as much as you do. And I'm going to show you everything that I'm doing everything I've done over the last 20 plus years to get past this thing that still shows up for me as it does for you. I don't think procrastination. Oh my gosh, Victoria Williams, hello. Mwah. I'm so happy that you're here. So happy to see you. Client annoyance. Yes, Bethany. Yes, Natalie. Great. Bonjour again. Great to have you here. Hello, Sanjay. Hello, Mila. It's I this is such an important topic, and I'm so glad that you're all here. So let's just dive in, shall we? Why does it seem so difficult to take actions on the things that you know that you need to do? Like I just said a couple minutes ago, a lot of times when I ask people who work with us, why is it that you used to not take action on the things you know you need to do? Most people know what to do. They know they have to go and do that webinar. They know they have to raise their rates. They know that they have to reach out to that joint venture strategic alliance partner. They know that they have to rip off the Band-Aid and get rid of that toxic client or that toxic employee, or just go online and do the thing that they know they need to do. They know usually what to do. We'll talk about ability today, but that's usually not the case. Procrastination is a symptom of something else, okay? And so I want to have you think about why it's so difficult. Yes, Claire, thank you for voicing it and naming it. You procrastinate to avoid failure. Thank you for sharing that. I really love that level 3 conversation. But yeah, and that's the thing, is if you don't start it, right, then you definitely fail. What is it that Wayne Gretzky is known for saying? I miss 100% of the shots I don't take. The hockey player. Hello, Heather Nunley. Wonderful to have you. It's always been a problem for you, Julie. Yeah, I try to get things perfect and maybe shouldn't be. It's prevented me from going and getting in the way. So there's so much stuff that's preventing you. Procrastination is preventing you from. So I want to ask you, why do you get distracted instead of staying on task? What is it that, so not only is it procrastination, but sometimes we get distracted, right? Why do you often not finish what you start? What I'm here to tell you is you're smart. It's not a question of not knowing what to do. This isn't necessarily about more knowledge. You don't need more knowledge. This is about more action, right? More decisive action. And I know that this could be sound counterintuitive, because as you probably know, I have the Bold Heart Business Program, boldheart.com, and I teach strategy. I teach exactly how to, and that is knowledge. So I do believe that there's place for that, because sometimes you just want to shortcut it and just tell me how to close the sale. Tell me how to scale my business and gain my time back. Tell me how to get my business to 10K a month. This is what we teach. But there's a point at which you could have all of that knowledge, all of it, and you're still not taking action, right? Still procrastinating, still stuck in fear and things like that. And we've discovered this. I've discovered this because I'm in the same boat as you are and have been. This is the way I'm wired. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we're going to talk about creating good habits. How do you create good habits? How do you change defeating behaviors? Because they are the behaviors that you may be experiencing in your business are defeating your best efforts right now. And just want to see, hello, so great to see you. Distraction and opportunities that keep falling from the sky, Sanjay. That's right. So here's what I want to talk about today is that, one, there's nothing wrong with you. I have never met anybody, even my wonderful husband, Derek, who is incredible at getting things done. Literally. I mean, I think we should clone him and bottle him, but everyone is born with a different level of willpower. Okay? I hope that you write that down. Some people, like Derek, who's sitting next to me over there, some people are born with an incredible amount of willpower. Those are the people that I imagine train for marathons and do stuff that that I would never be able to do. And then there are people who have very little willpower. And it's really good to just know that and just to recognize that everyone's a little bit different. So don't play with the comparison monster thing. But I want you to know that there is a limited amount of willpower within each individual before we decide to just stop taking action. Okay? So you come into each day with a certain amount of willpower. And everybody struggles with distractions and temptation and procrastination to some level. And so let's take the blame off of you and have you not necessarily think that you're the only one who struggles with this. Okay? Can I just get, even though I can't see you, or give me a high five in the comments. Everybody struggles with distraction, with temptation, and with procrastination. I do, and if you do, just put like a yes, I do in the comments. Yeah, don't you want to clone Derek? Yeah, people always want their own Derek. But Tom, he's not for sale. No, you should not be reading these. Your ego is going to get really big.
Tell Tom when the price just went up because he misspelled my first name.
Oh, Tom, you misspelled his name, so now the price just went up just for you. Right? There is nothing wrong with you, Jeannie. It is absolutely normal. You struggle with it all the time, Victoria. I just want you to take the shame of procrastination away and stop thinking, please, that you're the only one in the world who does that. Every single person I know, and I know a lot of people, I meet a lot of people every year. So the thing is, entrepreneurs, people who are willing to take the risk of opening up their own business, running their own business, they dream of having a side hustle. Everybody that is like us, we're wired differently than the rest of the population. Some of you who are here and who've been working with me for a long time, or in the past you worked with me, you know I'm always talking about entrepreneurs are ones who love to start new things and not necessarily finish them. And so let's talk about willpower for a second. He needs to come on the call, Sanjay. I think it's baked in. He doesn't know how he does it. But let's talk about understanding willpower. What is willpower? And how much influence does it have on how we take action? Willpower, as I understand it, is the internal battle between, write this down, okay, between immediate gratification and reaching our long-term goals. Right? So it's the idea that there's part of you that wants two things. There's part of you that wants the immediate gratification, and there's part of you that wants the long-term goal. So you know you want to get those clients, you know you want to, and this everything I'm talking about today also applies to health goals and to, you know, financial goals and things like that. But because I teach business and how to get you to 10K a month consistently, and then how to get you to 50K, 100K a month consistently and gain your life back, we're going to talk about your business today. So there's a part of you that wants the long-term goal, but there's a part of you after a while that peters out and says, this is too much, this is hard work. We have been conditioned to want what is pleasurable right now. If that's true for you, put a yes in the comments so that I can see for whom, right? I don't know if it's Maggie or Magie, so I'll just do my best, but it is absolutely right. Too many competing issues. Oh, yes, Rachel, it can feel like in these crazy times, everything takes four times longer to do. And you're, Nancy, thank you for speaking the truth about its struggle. You have to struggle with it too. We have been conditioned to want what's immediate right now. And there are some, you can look up the children's marshmallow test and all of that stuff. But I wanna, before we talk about how big willpower works and doesn't work in taking decisive action, I want you to write down first, what is the behavior that you would like to change in your business? Okay? Write it into the chat, please. What is the behavior that you would like to change in your business? Do you want to be more consistent? Do you want to be more persistent? Do you want to stop procrastinating? What is the behavior you want to change? Yes, right? Even if it's not pleasure but immediate. Yes, absolutely, Allison. Totally get that. The reason I'm asking you this now is because it's part of the, I believe, 6-step process that I have to share with you today. So let's get clear on the behavior that you want to change. Perhaps, and there's a strong music. Oh, well, we're going to change that. And thank you for bringing it up to me. You want to be more prolific. You want to be more focused, Sanjay. Thank you, Delphine. You want to reach out to more people consistently, Jill. You want to stop waiting for people to contact you and take action yourself. Very good. Consistency. More consistent and focused, more driven, stop avoiding. Yes, awesome, guys. Thank you for sharing this, because I think it's going to be a big awakening for a lot of people. You want to take more action, Julie, absolutely. So you might want to ask yourself, if you're not clear about the answer to this, is where am I being inconsistent in my business? You know, maybe you're being inconsistent with how you do certain things. Maybe you show up regularly at some points and then you drop off, right? Where I would love to know where you're being inconsistent in your business. You want to be focused and need to be focused to get started and put a stake in the ground and move forward. More focused and organized, seeing things through to the end product. Absolutely. So let's continue talking about willpower. Willpower, as I understand it, I've been teaching mindset for close to 13 years, okay? When I started working on my own mindset and worked so well, I started teaching other people about it. And then I started learning more about willpower. And sometimes people think that willpower is self-discipline, right? Write this down. Willpower is not self-discipline. It's not the same, right? It's a push. Willpower is a push, but it's not like you will always be self-disciplined if you have willpower. As I understand it from the research, once you use up your amount of willpower per day, the other 95% takes over, and I'll explain this in a moment, right? I'd love to see what I'm inconsistent about, setting specific goals and tracking them regularly. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate it. I have to tell you, I do not rely on my willpower. I was actually telling Derek last night that I don't believe I have a lot of willpower. It might be less than 5% for me. Would you agree, Derek, or be nice? He said, I'm not answering that. Smart man. I don't know. How much willpower do you think you have? Could you put it in the chat for me in the comments? I am not sure. I'm not sure that I even have. I don't know. It's arguable. What I'm here to share with you is that there are better ways than relying on a limited amount of willpower to get into decisive action, right? If you rely on willpower, you've been on that diet, for 3 months, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 3 days, maybe for 3 hours, maybe for 3 nanoseconds. Willpower is ephemeral, right? And so I'm going to present to you some other ways to get into decisive action. So number 1, probably heading for 5%. Yep, it's 1%, Indra. Angela, I think it is more mindset. It's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Moderate in some situations. What I know about you, Victoria, is that you are really good about getting things done and executing. And so yours is probably a higher level than other people who are wired differently. I'm with you, Joseph. Sometimes I don't feel like I have a lot of willpower. And you know what? I shame myself for it. This is why, like in our programs, there is so much accountability. There's so much structure for your nature. There's so much implementation time that we do together. because I recognize that without it, and we'll talk about all the different steps, right? I recognize that without it, most people don't take decisive action. And then if they join a program or something like that and they don't take action, then they shame themselves again for having invested in something that didn't work, or because they didn't work it. And that doesn't have to be there when you have the right structure, accountability, everything, all the hacks that I'm sharing with you today. So number one, yeah, Ani, not all the time, right? Number one, get super clear on what specific behavior you want to change, right? So that is what we did just a few minutes ago. Maybe you want to be more focused, more persistent. You want to finish what you start, right? When you're super clear about the end result, we have something to work on. So I just want you to write vision, right? What is the vision for the change that I want to make? What is the vision for the person I want to be? Do you want to be prolific? Do you want to be consistent? Do you want to be somebody who takes imperfect action but still takes action? Do you want to be somebody who's trustworthy? You can be trustworthy in your heart, but sometimes your actions betray that. Let's dive deeper. The vision of the person that you want to be, or the change that you want to make. Maybe you have a weekly newsletter that you send out haphazardly, not weekly, right? Maybe the change you want to make is that you want to stop undercharging and stop giving people a friends and family discount, and stop lowering your value. Maybe it's time for you to stop being in fear about being more visible. Do you seek in your mind, do you seek to be more visible online, but then you stop yourself and you procrastinate from being on social media and putting out content because just for whatever reason? I would love to hear more visibility for you. I've just described you, Julie, paying but not always getting with it, so I feel guilty. I know, I've heard this so many times. I've done it myself. When without the right structures, without the right mindset work, which we'll talk about today, I don't always finish what I start. In fact, I don't often finish what I start when I'm doing other people's programs, because usually they're not there's not all this structure for your nature built into the cake, right? Yes, that's you, Jess. Yes, that's you, Claudel. Thank you so much for sharing this. It's really important that as a community here in the Bold Heart Facebook group, that we just share what's really coming up for us, because what it does is it makes us feel not alone when everybody else is also feeling the same thing. So the reason why I'm having you write down what is the vision of the thing that you want to change, because if it's swirling in your head and you're not clear about it, it will be harder to move past procrastination and into big time action. So we got to get clear about it. And one of the things I want you to do after this time that we have together today is to journal about what you want to change. Be clear about what the ideal outcome looks like. All right. Be clear about what change you want to make and about what the ideal outcome looks like. So it would be easier almost to talk about it as a like a weight management thing. Perhaps you want to be a certain type of body, right? Or no, actually in business it could be like a certain income or a certain that you make per month. Let's say 10K a month. Maybe for you it's about having a team and trusting that team. Being able to, like I said, raise your rates or shift your business model so that you don't have to work with as many clients. So after our time together today, just journal about what you want to change. Step number 2 after that, and you might say like, what does this have to do with procrastination? But it's important to get clear on what is your big why behind the thing that you want to change, right? What is the big why behind the change you wish to make? And the reason for that is because we're going to want to connect emotionally with it. Okay? We're going to want to really connect with, oh, you're afraid of people will get sick of seeing you. I get that. Fear of being visible beyond my immediate community. I sure get that too. You don't think people will be interested in what you have to say, right? But in fact, that's not necessarily true. So we want to connect with the big why behind the change we want to make emotionally, because what I've learned is logic doesn't work. We know what we should be doing, but we're not doing it, right? I also know that deprivation doesn't work, because deprivation for me is connected with willpower. And there's only a certain amount of deprivation that each person can take before they just don't do something. So the logic piece, and I'll explain where the logic comes in a second, doesn't work. I'm a spiritual person, so I'm going to talk about the universe. You can translate to God, or you can translate to the all that is. But the way that I understand the game of life and how to play it is that the universe responds to vibration in the forms of emotions. It responds to the vibration of the emotions that you have around a certain thing that you want to change, right? It doesn't respond as much to logic. Logic is, I need to get out of my own way. But what it responds to is how will it feel when I have this thing? What is the real reason why I want this? The real reason you want to get to 10K a month or 50K a month is really not about the money. It's not about the actual money. It's about the feeling you will have once you have it. Is this true? If this is true, I'd love for you to put yes or something like that in the comments, or send to me a heart or something like that, right? I want to serve the divine in a big way too. Hey, Mega, great to see you. I thought about you yesterday, actually. You want to create a future tribe of achievers. Now, I want you to think about, is it a dollar amount that you want, or euros or pounds, whatever it is for you, right? Or is it the feeling that you want as a result of having lots of money in the bank, right? For most people, it's not about the actual dollar amount. So the key, and this is one of the things that I teach at my mindset retreat, and if you've been, this is a powerful exercise that we do. I just did my first virtual mindset retreat 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, for our UK and Europe attendees. 3-day mindset retreat, and it was amazing. From this seat, actually, very, very powerful. And I showed them that when you can connect emotionally to the business that you want to have, emotionally, not just logically, not just in terms of numbers, as opposed to just a dollar amount, for example, then you are more likely to take the actions to manifest it, right? Right, it's a little bit the law of attraction, right? So the idea, it was incredible, Maxine. Yeah, you were at the mindset retreat. Really, really powerful. In fact, we're doing another one July for the US market. Write this down. If you are in the US and Canada and you would like to experience the mindset retreat virtually from your home, whether you are still in lockdown, quarantine, or confinement or not, everybody who was doing it virtually with us said it was better than if we had been in person, the way I used to do it for 12 years. You can go to mindsetretreat.com. We have a special right now. The tickets are only $295 until Tuesday. $295. Ah, it's crazy. We used to charge what? $297. See, that's why you need a Derek, right? Because he remembers. Yeah, that's until Tuesday, so you can be with me for 3 days for $297 and learn all of this. So the thing that we teach is that I teach, because it's all me teaching this, is that when you know your big why, you can get pulled forward by your future. Your emotional resonance with the thing that you want beats the logic, right? And I'll dive deeper into this in a minute, but for example, in 2008, for the first time, I took my business past the 7-figure mark. I'm not sharing that with you to impress you or anything. It's something that I had set my heart on for a while. And I was trying to go for it. I was trying to go for these big money goals, but I was coming from logic and I wasn't emotionally attached to it. And then one guy said to me, I don't remember his name, but I remember the conversation. He said, why are you so hell bent on getting to $1 million in your business? And I was like, well, I don't know, and when I connected that, for me, that revenue model, that revenue goal would free up my husband to leave Wall Street. He was in a bit of a toxic job on Wall Street, or I won't say toxic, it was maybe not fulfilling. I could give our family freedom of time and location if he could come. And then now I had this big why. I had this emotion around it. I had this like, wow. I had to switch from wanting something for the sake of having it to the feeling around it, right? So one of the things that I'll share with you that you can think about after this Facebook Live today is, what is your big why behind the thing that you want? Do you want to get to 10K a month consistently? Why? What's the emotion behind it? Do you want to increase your influence and impact? Why? What do you want to feel? What for many of our of the people who work with us in the Bold Heart Business programs, they want to feel safety. They want to feel certainty in their business. When it's a feeling of, if I can get my business to a certain point, and I can always treat it like my ATM, I will feel safe in the world. I will feel safe in my relationships. I will feel safe in any economy. A lot of our members, I just talked to another person today from Bold Heart who is experiencing, in April, who experienced her best month ever in her career, ever. And we're in the middle of, COVID. It's because she really got connected with her big why. So that's number 2. That's connecting emotionally to the thing that you want, and not with your logic. Number 3, I think I have 6 steps for you today. Number 3 is to change your self-image. Now you might be saying, like, how does procrastination have to do with my self-image? And I will share this with you. This is Mindset 101. This is what I teach at the Mindset Retreat, is that identity drives behavior. I hope you write that down, right? Let me see. Thank you, Joseph. I want to be an inspiration for others like you, Fabienne. So great. Oh, awesome, Dominique. I'm so glad that you loved it. Yeah, financial security, Jane. That feeling of financial security is very, very big. I want to feel proud. I want to show my girls what it means to be empowered, successful women who can take care of business. I was actually talking to my kids about this yesterday. At lunch, my daughter Claire, who's 17, said, Mama, I want to have my own business like you. And I just want to not have to work for somebody. And that feeling of being self-sufficient, to be safe in the world, to have certainty. Because if you work for somebody else, there is no certainty. They can pull the rug out from under you at any time, right? So let's get back to identity drives behavior, right? When you have a certain self-image, and this goes back to the person I was talking about at the very beginning of this live, who said to me, I don't see myself as the person who will take these actions, who will be successful in business. I said, stop right here. If your behavior, and I'll explain this to you how this works in a few minutes. I really put a lot of thought into this. If your behavior comes from your identity, then it really matters how you see yourself. How you see yourself in the theater of your mind, as Dr. Maxwell Maltz used to talk about. How you see yourself in the theater of your mind. Imagine that you close your eyes for a second. I'll close my eyes, you probably won't, and you imagine yourself in a dark theater. You're the only person in the theater, and what you're looking on the screen, what you're looking at on the screen is how you perceive yourself. That drives your behavior. If you see yourself as a winner, you will begin to take winning moves. You will take action on the things that you know you should be doing because it's part of your mindset. If you see yourself as being somebody who won't do it, this is why mindset is so critical. 100% of the time when somebody works on their mindset, things shift, right? This is why I've been doing this for so long. If you see yourself as somebody who struggles, somebody who won't be successful in business, somebody who can make money but loses it, somebody who's shy or not a good salesperson, or you create an identity. And let's go back, right? Identity drives behavior. And so if you see yourself as somebody who's not going to be successful in business, it will drive your behavior. The key is subconsciously. Right? So you may be procrastinating and think, oh, something's wrong with you, and maybe you're not wired to finish things, but it usually is working. Procrastination comes from fears, beliefs, and self-image that you are not meant to deserve more than what you have now. I know this is like a lot, and maybe you didn't expect this much from today, but I'm here to give you really, really valuable content. If you're procrastinating, it's usually because something's getting in the way on a belief, fear, or self-image level, right? It's Romani, it's if the money is not an issue, it's a belief around your ability to do it or to deserve it. I have seen this. People are making very good money right now, Tom, even during this pandemic. There are people who are taking the behaviors while a lot of people have gone to a standstill. I just talked to Connie on the call that I did right before this one, who is pivoting. She has, but right now it's a clothing store in Florida, and she just pivoted. She's about to do something else. So many people are pivoting right now. You can make good money if you see yourself as somebody who can be successful no matter what the economy, no matter what the pandemic or not pandemic or what's going on. It really does come down to your identity and how you see yourself. So I've been saying this for years, and especially in these times, you create, I hope you write this down, you create your reality in every I am. If you say, I am successful at everything I do, and you actually believe it, and you have this identity around it, no matter what's happening in the world, you're going to just keep making it happen. I have an identity that I am resourceful. I am incredibly resourceful. I will find a way to get anything done. And that has me pivot. That's why we can do a 3-day mindset retreat from our dining room table. And have it be a fully engaged experience where people get a huge transformation, and they say they get a better transformation than if they'd been in the room, and then they stay the whole time, and when we're done at the end of the 3rd day, they stay for another 2 hours and 15 minutes because they don't want to leave. I have this. This isn't about me. I'm asking you to think about, what are your I am statements? What is your identity? When you upgrade your identity, which is on the subconscious realm, and I'll share more about that so it's more practical in just a few minutes, then your behaviors change. Instead of being panicked or in fear or losing all motivation, you just start to pivot. You just start to, okay, be resourceful and do things differently. I'm so glad this is helpful, Janet. Yes, your head will see. Hi, Judy Heft. Great to see you. Your head will see a different image from your subconscious. Yeah, Linda, I do believe that inconsistency has an emotional feeling. I don't know if it's shame. It's probably shame or inadequacy. We really, if you are having a tough time with procrastination, it has to do with your mindset. It doesn't have to do with your with your thoughts as much. So what I'm here to share with you today is when you believe something about yourself that is not in alignment with what you want, you won't take decisive action on it. That's a biggie. That's like a truth bomb. When you believe something about yourself that is incongruent or not aligned with the thing that you say that you want, this is I am, this is what I want, and if there's a disconnect here, you will not take decisive action on it. Right? You're not going to get there through willpower. I'm a really positive person. I'm not here to tell you what you won't get. Like, just want to make that clear. It's harder to get through, to get the thing you want through willpower and through sheer determination, because like we said at the beginning of this live, you have a limited amount of willpower and self-determination. We all get worn down, and some of us have a lot of it and some of us don't. I don't have a lot of self-discipline and willpower. So we must shift your self-image on a subconscious level first. If you are not doing the things that you know you need to be doing, if you're not finishing what you start, if you are investing in courses or programs and you're not even taking the cellophane off, if you know that you have big goals, but by the end of the year you don't get them done, we've got to look at where's the misalignment, and then shift your image on a subconscious level first. Yeah, Claire, totally. When you upgrade your identity and you start believing that you can have the thing that you want, then you begin to take bigger decisive action. This is so paramount. This is so absolutely critical. We have a mindset first methodology in all of our programs. I do not teach how to do something until I teach you the mindset shifts to have first, and then you can take the action. But if you don't have the mindset shift first, it doesn't happen. This is why every single person that I've taken to 10K a month or 500K a year or $1 million, they've all been through the mindset retreat, because you have to shift your identity. If you see yourself as somebody who is just surviving, or bad things happen to, or if you see yourself as a constant procrastinator, then your behaviors and habits and actions will come from that. So massively important that then, if you're just joining us, I'll just throw it in here. We're doing a 3-day mindset retreat, July 21, 22, 23, online in US hours. And you can go to mindsetretreat.com. It's just $297. It used to be $3,000, but right now we're just offering this at a ridiculously low tuition. And if you want to work with me for 3 full days, I can help you shift your mindset, right? Go check it out. Number 4, we got to map out a strategic plan of action. When you've worked on your behavior, I'm up-leveling to my next big level. It's taken me about several weeks, if not several months, because it's such a big level that I just didn't believe it at first. So I wasn't taking the action towards it. I'm just being honest, like new level, new procrastination devil, right? And so I've been working on my own mindset. It's hard to work on your own mindset. I've been working with friends, and I have a mentor who helps me. And now I can see it. And now I'm talking about it, right? As if it's like almost inevitable. That's the mindset piece. But then you've also got to take action. And if you don't know what how to get there, you won't get there anytime soon. So when you know what you want, you can map out how you'll get there. I literally see people and myself sometimes like, oh, I know what I want. I know that vision, but I don't know how to get there. So in my mind, maybe you're like me, right? Swirl, 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 distraction, all of that. But if you can sit down and write down the steps you will take to create that change, write down the steps you will take to create that vision, even if you don't fully know how to do it, at least you have your roadmap, right? And if you don't know how to do it, you can hire somebody to teach you. I am, Joanne. I am not too cool for school, and I am not. Is it black belt? I approach life with white belt mentality. I have a friend who said to me a couple months ago, like, really, you work with the law of attraction? Aren't you beyond that? I'm like, are you kidding me? This mindset thing is the thing. Other people poo-poo it, right? Because it's overly simplistic. But it's overly simplistic when you don't do the deep dive work that we're talking about today, right? So, right, Perdita? Swirl, 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 right? And left to our own devices, we stay in the swirl. So, Joseph, you have to actually shift your identity before you shift your behavior. And this is a thing, like, you can try to shift your behavior, but if the behavior comes from the subconscious. So, and the self-image and your identity is in the subconscious. I'll show you a visual in just a few minutes. But it's massively important that you shift your identity before you shift your behavior, or else you're going to just keep. How many of you, just put yes, how many of you constantly trying to make something happen and not getting results from it? You're marketing till you're blue in the face and you're not getting new clients. I talked to somebody yesterday who said, I keep doing things on LinkedIn. I'm like posting on LinkedIn like crazy, and I haven't gotten anything. And there was a misalignment in her mindset. There was a fear about being vulnerable in her marketing. And so it took me like about 5 minutes to get to the core of it, but it was totally a mindset issue. It's almost always a mindset issue and a self-worth issue under just about everything, right? Yes, Anne? Yes, I know I'm holding myself back. Yes, sometimes, yeah. Charisse, definitely. Yep. Good. Like, there's no shame in it. Just know that that's what's going on in the surface, right? Okay, so number 5 is make your environment work for you. I remember when I was a holistic health counselor, which is basically like a holistic nutritionist or, holistic nutritionist. I had to shift my environment to work for me. I, at one point, had to clear out all the stuff that was in my fridge, all the stuff that was in my cabinets, and I had to replace it with everything that would work for me. So I went from having packaged things, like we all do, right, and sugary things, to having big things of whole grains and big things of sea vegetables and the right condiments and different sources of sugar, but not sugar, just like. And when I changed my environment, I started implementing my health goals recently. And I would do the same with my clients who would come to my apartment when I was doing health coaching, and I would show them my cabinets, and I'd say, well, what's in your cabinets right now? And they'd tell me. I'm like, well, you can keep it in there, but it's going to be harder to implement everything that I'm sharing with you if you are in an environment that has you be like what you are now and that you want to change. Does that make sense? You're a health coach, Joanne. Yeah, a study. Oh, Tracy Harrison. Tracy is somebody that we got to 7 figures within just 4 years. I hope it's okay to say. You cannot get results from things you don't implement. You know that. But if you're procrastinating, you're not implementing. And if you're not implementing, you're not getting results. So I just want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. This is the human condition. But on a pragmatic level, we've been talking a lot about mindset. We're going to talk deeper about mindset because literally it's mostly mindset. And but you can facilitate action. Okay? If you're procrastinating, you can facilitate action with 4 things. Number 1, ability. From the research that I've done and really just witnessing myself facing procrastination, I have to look at, do I feel able to do the thing? Do I feel able to do it? Yeah, Judy, it's a question of changing your environment sometimes, and you got to change your mindset and your self-image around that, but it's also just about changing your environment. If you don't have the foods in your house, you're not going to eat them, especially in these times, right? So ability also, so to your point, Judy, is if you don't feel able to make the right decision, the right food decisions or the right business decisions, we've got to look at how could you do it? What kind of environment do you need? So ability is, do you know how to do the thing that you need to know? Do you feel capable of doing the thing that you want to do? If not, it's time to learn it. It's time to learn it or to invest in something that will show you the way. This is what makes you feel capable. So where I'm going in my next level, there are some things I don't know how to do or I don't feel capable doing. I'm investing in a new brand. I'm going to be, right now, Fabienne.com just which I bought. Like, how many years ago did we buy that? Long time ago. Paid a lot of money for it too. Right now it just redirects to boldheart.com, but I'm working now with a branding process to help me feel capable of creating a world-class personal development brand for all the people who have said they wanted to work with me, but who don't have a business. I'm investing in that. I'm investing in coaches to help me because I'm smart. I know I cannot give myself a good haircut, right? And I need to learn from other people how to do it. So if you don't, like, I remember when this is what we do, right? With our members in Bold Heart Business, we teach them the things, the exactly how to, so that they feel capable. And we put them in this environment where they just have access to all these templates, these scripts, these exactly how to's. This is, if you're building a video studio and you don't want to, because you want to be more visible online, but you don't want to spend a lot, here is the exactly how. This is the Amazon list of what you should buy. Here's how you write a book in 90 days. This is who we use for this, how we publish, all of that. The exactly how makes you feel able to do it, and it's worth investing in. Same thing, again, holistic health counseling days. If somebody didn't feel able to eat better, I would say, well, do you cook? And they're like, oh, no, I don't cook. I said, oh, okay, next time when you come for your session, I want you to bring 3 pieces of salmon, and I will teach you how to steam salmon, saute salmon, and bake salmon. 3 small pieces, and I would teach them how, and then they'd be like, oh my God, I can cook for myself. I feel able, right? So it's an environment thing. Number 2 is what I'll call micro shifts. when you can flip your environment so that you make it super easy to start something, it changes how you take action. These are the not so much the mindset-y things, but then we'll dive deeper into mindset in just a moment. But you want to make it really easy to start something. If we perceive something as being big, it's going to be harder to start. And sometimes you have to do things in phases, but you know, the law of physics is a ball in motion stays in motion. So you have plenty of books out there on changing behavior that talk about micro commitments and micro shifts, you know, just like commit to doing 1 push-up. Well, if you're down there, you might as well do 10 push-ups, right? Or one of the things that I do on every day is I have a micro commitment to myself, a micro shift. I wanted to drink more water, but if I don't have a bottle of water on my desk, I could have the glass, but if I don't have the bottle of water on my desk, I won't do it, right? So it's about every morning, I put 2 big bottles of water on my desk. My commitment is to have them on my desk, not to drink them, to have them on my desk. But if they're on my desk, I'm going to do it, right? Lots of little micro shifts that we can talk about. Number 3 is community. I have learned this from being in business now and creating amazing communities. If you're in one of my communities, how do you eat an elephant 1 bite at a time? Harry Hildebrand, hello. Great to have you here. If you're in one of my communities, you know that we've created something magical, and it's because I've learned from myself and just all the thousands and tens of thousands of people I've coached over the last 20 years, is that working with others always works better than working by yourself, right? So if you're working on your mindset, you're not going to be able to work on your mindset by yourself. Very few people I have seen, including myself, can't do it. Very few people can do it, is what I meant. So whether it's in your business, working with others always works better than working by yourself. Is this true for you? If so, hi Karen, great to see you. If you work better with others, please put it into the chat. Just please put yes into the chat. I think it's a losing proposition to try to do things by yourself, unless you're good at that. But I don't know many people who are. Mostly because willpower and discipline are less common when we're in isolation. I don't know about you, but when I'm in isolation, I talk myself out of stuff. Anybody else? Right? Thank you. Yeah, it depends for you, Lizzie. Thank you very much. It is an amazing community. Thank you, Charisse and Irene. Yeah. I talk myself out of stuff when I'm in isolation because I'll just let things get out of the way, right? Or get in the way, rather. Number 4 is accountability. When you know that someone else is going to check in on you, it makes you do what you set out to do more so than when you are left to your own devices, right? Is this true? Like, I have not met anybody who doesn't do better with some accountability. That's part of your environment. This is why everything we do at Bold Heart includes so much like daily accountability, but in a loving way, not in a, oh my God, did you do it? Because that doesn't work. Then you feel shamed and you feel guilty and then you run away, right? And you do not want to run away to get things done. So great accountability has you get past procrastination and into decisive action. Right, Victoria? Yes, you can hear some of the people who know how we do it at Bold Heart, and it's amazing. This is why we can get people to stop procrastinating and get into action. And you know, when you get into action, you implement and you get results. It's really that simple. It's a combination of everything we've been talking about: the right strategy, the right mindset, the right community, the right accountability, the right self-image, all that stuff. What I've learned for sure, as Oprah says, like what I know for sure is that if you can change your mindset for good, it changes everything. Because at the end, you can have the right ability, you can have the right community, you can have the right environment, you can have the right structure for your nature. But like I said to Joseph, you got to work on your self-image and your fears and your beliefs first, because those things drive behavior. Procrastination is a symptom of not behavior, but a symptom of identity, a symptom of your mindset. So it's really hard for people to stop procrastinating if they have a mindset that fundamentally doesn't believe that they'll succeed or that change is possible. I hope that you write that down. It is really hard for people to stop procrastinating if deep down inside they don't believe that they will succeed or that change is possible. This is the thing where I see so many people give up on themselves, and it is a powerful tool, absolutely. But you must change your beliefs to change your actions. This is what I mean. I'm for where I'm going at my next level. I am not taking action before I work on my belief systems. If I feel that my next big level is not possible for me, then I what's the point of taking the action? So first, I'm working on my fears. First, and fears of visibility, fears. I mean, I'm pretty visible now, but to where I want to be, I would have to be like in every household, and not everybody has the same belief systems, and they could tear me apart, right? Shred me, because they don't have the same values and stuff like that. So getting over that fear of visibility, fear of humiliation, fear of trolls online, but also what is the belief, what the mindset piece is, I'm not going to take action unless I believe that I can do it, right? You're probably the same. If deep down inside I haven't connected to that vision in a believing way, in an expectation way, not going to take action. And so I share this with you because in the end, I really believe that mindset is a huge part of procrastination. You don't change your mindset, you don't change your behaviors, and you continue to procrastinate. I'm just sharing with you what I've learned, right? You change your mindset, you start doing things that you've never done before. Absolutely pivoting, feeling the fear, doing it anyway, right? Shifting your beliefs, shifting your self-image, and you start playing so much bigger, so much more visibly. You don't let things stop you. In fact, I was seeing somebody today who said since the UK Europe mindset retreat 2 weeks ago, she said, I am unstoppable now. That was just from 3 days. That is unheard of unless you do mindset work. Unstoppable. You don't switch from being procrastination person to unstoppable person without a deep mindset. I want to share this Einstein quote with you. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Very, very powerful quote for me. I really go back to that one a lot. It's the whole, like, you can't give yourself a good haircut. You cannot change the situation without a change in your mindset. Why? Because it's happening on a subconscious level. So look at this graphic here on the screen. You've got your conscious mind, and I'll explain what that is. Your conscious mind is the tip of the iceberg. It is about 5% of what drives your results. Your conscious mind is your logical mind, your reasoning mind, your thinking mind. It's like, well, logically, if I take these actions, I will get these results, right? Logically, if I go in the direction of my dreams, I'll make them happen. But what most people don't realize is the subconscious is the huge part underneath the surface. And it is the collection of your beliefs, your programming. Usually you're programming up to age of 7, where when you're a child until the age of 7, you take in everything that is given to you, and without questioning it. It is not a reasoning mind. It is a reactive mind. So your subconscious is your fears, your beliefs, your self-image, all of that identity stuff we've been talking about. And your daily actions come from here, not from your conscious mind. So 95% of what is driving your procrastination habits, my sweet friend, me too, right? Nothing's wrong with you. 95% of it is coming from your subconscious. And so how do you change it? How do you change your subconscious? It's not like, you know, you can even Google, like, how do I change my subconscious? It's not a thing that you can just really do on your own. So what I've been teaching, and the miraculous things I've been doing with probably tens of thousands of people up at this point, is teaching them the 3 things that need to match in their mindset. Mindset is a combination of 3 things, okay? Number 1, your vision. Your vision is the thing that you say that you want. Most people aren't very clear about what they want, right? Number 2, your beliefs. Your beliefs, your fears, your self-image, right? So these 2 things need to be in alignment. If you have a vision but you don't have a belief that you can get that vision, it's not going to work. You're going to procrastinate. When your vision, when you have beliefs but you don't have a high vision, you're not going to create new results either. When your vision, your beliefs, and your actions are aligned, then everything you seek is on the other side of that. Yes, of course you can watch the replay. It is so true, Romani. I'll break it down even further so you understand what we've been talking about this whole time. The vision is your conscious mind. It's a logic mind. You can create the vision, right? You're in control of the vision. Your beliefs, your fears, your identity, your self-image live on the subconscious. This is not the reasoning mind. It's a programming that comes typically from childhood. The good news is it can be changed very, very quickly. If you've got a vision of what you want, but you're not taking action towards it, it's because we need to shift your beliefs together. Your actions are the behaviors you take, and the actions come from your subconscious. The behaviors, right? Identity drives behavior. Your subconscious drives your behavior. So the willpower lives in the vision and the conscious. This is not where behaviors come from. Behaviors come from the self-conscious. Did I say self-conscious? I meant subconscious, right? And so the action that you want to take, if you want to eliminate procrastination and you want to go into decisive action, it comes when all 3 are aligned. You've got the big vision, you're clear about it, you know how to get there. That's all the conscious stuff. Then you've got your beliefs, your image, you change what's on the subconscious below the iceberg, and that's when you take the actions. And the actions bring you the impact that you want to make in your business, the abundance, the income that you want to make, whether it's 10K a month or 100K a month, right? The certainty and the safety, the financial safety, security, that feeling that we were talking about earlier. And so mindset is 3 things. You work on your mindset, you eliminate procrastination. Mindset is a bigger vision, a reprogrammed set of beliefs, and these produce bolder actions. This is what we call VBA. And if you're still here, Victoria, I think you'll appreciate that, right? Visions, beliefs, and action. So the first way to move to your next level of action and out of procrastination is to stretch your vision, right? And then we must create new beliefs around that vision. And on a subconscious level, we must reprogram all the things that you were taught about money, about success, about business. Reprogram all of that from your childhood and all the experiences that you've had. And we can do it in just 3 days. We actually do this part in just 1 day, right? That's day 2 of the mindset retreat, in case you're interested. You want to join us. mindsetretreat.com. And this leads us to decisive action. And that is when you get out of your own way and you do the things that you know you should be doing, but you are not doing and you're procrastinating on. This VBA, everything you seek, everything you want to create is on the other side of it. I'm living this myself. I believe in this so much that all 3 of my children came to the mindset retreat last year. When we did it, where did we do it? Mindset last year? Orlando, Florida. And obviously we can't. I just did my first mindset retreat virtually 2 weeks ago, and we're doing the next US one in July. And I believe in this so much that I'm living this myself, right? I look at, okay, how did I create? What the year that I tripled my income to $1 million, what was I doing a lot of? I was doing a lot of mindset. Every time I was featured on Inc. magazine as one of America's fastest growing private companies, I was doing a lot of mindset work, right? And so maybe, oh yeah, it's a virtual 3-day retreat. It's an amazing thing. And maybe I wasn't going to mention this because when did we decide to do this? Like on Tuesday. You can join us. You can go for the next 5 days. You can join us at the Mindset Retreat for just $297. I didn't intend to talk to you about it, but it wove so beautifully into this procrastination thing. Go check it out. Go check out mindsetretreat.com. And just know that for the next 5 days, this is called pre-registration. Like, we're not even at early bird yet. The tickets will end up being $497. But if you want to join us before Tuesday night, that's when the tuition goes up. You can join us for just $297. So I don't know if you're interested in this virtual experience. Absolutely amazing. Most people said they love it. Actually, almost everybody said they love it more than being in the room with me, because instead of being 100 feet away, they were like this, 2 feet away, and they could see in my eyes, and I could be with everyone because we have this awesome technology. So that's the presentation for today, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have about procrastination, about mindset, about environment, whatever it is. Just post it into the chat. Happy to help. Did you like what? Actually, before we do that, what is your favorite takeaway or insight from this live today? I've been talking for about an hour and 15 minutes or so. Love to hear what was your biggest takeaway, what you liked most about today, and then tell me if you have any questions. Happy to stay for about another up to 15 minutes and answer questions. Yay! Awesome. It is included if you become a Leverage member, Tom Neverman. It is. It would become free for you if that's what you're talking about. I'm not done with you. I told you that years ago. Let's see. So what was your biggest takeaway? Can you schmerz the 5 points? I don't know what that means. It was incredible as a virtual experience. Thank you, Jane. Yeah, I remember seeing you 2 weeks ago. Best money you've spent. Thank you. I'm so happy that you loved it. Derek and I worked hundreds and hundreds of hours to pivot it online. And it was really hard work to pivot, and we couldn't believe that it's even better than in person. I don't know if we'll ever do it in person ever again, because it is so powerful online. And most people were like, you know, a lot of people canceled and said, I'm not going to sit in my chair looking at a screen for, 9 hours a day, 8 hours a day. And it was quite the opposite experience. I've got this conscious engagement online methodology that I've been working on for 6 months, way before COVID happened. And it really just, it's so engaging that people didn't want to leave. Can you summarize the 5 points? Can I summarize the 5 points? I would have to flip through the presentation. You know what I'll do? I will, Rochelle, I'll put them in the chat. I'll put them in the comments after I leave because I'm not going to flip through the whole presentation, but I will do that for you, I promise. Identify beliefs and self. Okay, vibration of emotions. I'm so glad that was helpful for you, Jeannie. Thank you. You're not done with me either. I miss you a lot. I love how you broke down visions, conscious to beliefs, subconscious to actions, behavior. Thank you, Joanne. I'm glad that was helpful. Oh, you loved it, Jane. Thank you. That you're not the only one, and identity drives behavior. Exactly, Julie. Exactly. You procrastinate when you lose interest in something. That is, especially for us people who are high idea generators. We talked about swirl before, and there's also like squirrel, right? Which is bright, shiny object syndrome. This is very typical of people who are quick starts like us. We like to start things but not finish them. So absolutely. So great. Rochelle, see you at the Mindset Retreat. Mwah! I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Yeah, Charlie, if you don't mind the time difference, obviously I'm in Paris, but we'll probably go to about 10 p.m. your time, so you can absolutely join. Listen, we're even thinking of doing an Australia one in the fall, believe it or not, and wake up at 5 a.m. But yeah, Charlie, join us. You can absolutely do it. It's just we'll start at what I believe is 10 a.m. Eastern time, 7 a.m. what? 9? Oh, we changed it? Well, we'll start a little bit, it's still palatable for the Pacific Coast people as well, the West Coast people. You might have to get up at 6 a.m., but you don't necessarily need to blow dry your hair because we will all be from our own homes. Can I join from the yes, Charlie? Yep, I answered that. So many great things to immerse in, specific actions to take. Thank you for all of this. Oh, you're so welcome, Jeannie. Yeah, some reminders of things you know, but listen, we can always be reminded. Like I said, I got reminded of things that I used to do that I'm not always doing, and I'm just like doubling down on them right now. Yeah, you don't have to depend on willpower and discipline. It doesn't usually work. Sad to say. And then we think something's wrong with us if like a business or a diet or a program doesn't work. You can't depend on willpower. It doesn't work that way. It's great to be with you too, Judy. I love you. Changing your mindset for good, Charisse. That is the way to do it. Yep. If you want to end procrastination and you want to start taking action in your business, you got to change your mindset. So I don't see any questions, so I will just say that I had a wonderful time with you. And if it speaks to you, please join us. I mean, where else are you going to get your upgraded mindset and be with me? You get to be with me for 3 whole days. We even have a mix and mingle dance party. You don't have to dance, but you'll see me dance, where we bring a beverage the night before, and what afternoon? Well, it'll be a little late for me, but yeah, like we'll get to know each other before we go into breakouts during the thing. There's a chat going on, so you are basically like every time it's time to share with somebody, we put you in these breakouts, and it's like always a surprise, like, oh, who's in this breakout with me? People said they absolutely love that, and it kept them super engaged. Lots of sharing with others and good stuff like that. So that is that. What kinds of technology it will be? Zoom. Yep, Zoom. Thank you, Mega. So glad. Big hugs and kisses to you too. Yeah, if I don't believe I succeed, I probably won't. Good, good, good. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. Mwah. Until next time, lots of love. See you then. Bye.